Sprinters, it's Janae here to brighten, lighten, and ignite your day. We are on day 28, the last day of this week for our Power of Ignition training, and what perfect way to end than on courage. I think this really just builds up into all these 7 days into our ability to be courageous. And that's why you watched the first clip of the Cowardly Lion, because sometimes we look really courageous and mean and ready to fight whatever we need to fight on the outside, but yet on the inside we might be that cowardly lion just shivering in fears that we have, okay? Or on the other hand, we might be really courageous on the inside, but we're too cowardly to show it on the outside. And so our courage has to align both the inner and outer courage in order for us to share it with the world. And what I love about the word courage, it really is closely connected to encourage others and to take heart. And that's what really courage is that ability to step and walk forward. So here's what I'm going to have you do for your 1, 2, 3, choose what's best for me. Your 1 is to write your courage story around your number 1 goal. Okay, this might be already what you've done up until this point or what you want to see done in the future. So I'm going to give you a couple fun examples of this. And for me, it's been just the courage around this whole dream that I've had about getting my book published, or a book, or many books, or at least one published manuscript book. Okay, so this has been my courage story. And I'm just going to share with you a couple of different examples of kind of going all out there with my courage. So when I knew that my book was going to be called Love Affair with God, I created this page right here, which is the front page of the book. So then when I can fold it, I have my front cover of the book and then my back cover of the book. I wrote it all out. I had the picture. This was an actual picture that I had taken. And I then circled it in prayer, which I talked about yesterday. And so this was an example of having courage to put myself out there. But then it didn't stop there, because my story was, once I get my book published, then I would have a chance to be able to share my faith more. And then that's where I thought it would be so cool to be part of the Women at Faith conference. And if you noticed in here really closely, I'm in the lineup of one of the speakers. You're probably sad that you missed it and you didn't see me on the lineup, but in my heart and my courage story, I was there, okay? So I circled that in prayer too. There's also a Hearts at Home conference, because the Women of Faith conference is no longer traveling around the country, but there is the Hearts at Home conference. And so here, same thing here, I have put myself out as one of the speakers when my book is published for the Hearts at Home conference. Look what's coming up, and there I am as one of the conference speakers. So I was totally having fun with that. And another dream that I've had along the way, and I have tried to show my courage. In fact, that's what I devoted Project Gratitude is around Oprah originally, because she's really taught me a lot about the power of gratitude. And so this is when I was on the cover of O magazine, and you can you can see how fun this is. My Finding It Secrets. She's going to help you live it, find it, live it, and give it away. Project Gratitude, great giveaway. So that's my courage story, is just putting it out there, and I've circled them in prayer, and 0 of these have come true. And so that's where then I go back to this about not losing heart and having courage to continue, because sometimes God plants dreams in our hearts that do come true, but it's not till decades later. Or other times they're planted in our hearts and they don't come true the way we expect them to. And so we also need to be at peace with that as well. So I really want you to think and have fun with this, and just really put yourself out there and take heart of, if you really had courage to do what you wanted to do and really show around your number 1 goal, what would that look like? So 2, good for you, is then to study other courageous people. I was trying to think of a good example to share, and there was just way too many examples. So, you know, just from our neighbor and hearing their story with fighting cancer, to a single mom and her journey, to, you know, great heroes that have done incredible things, to the every ordinary. There's so many courageous people out there. So they are too good for you to study those. And then the three is key is then to weave those into your story, the things that you've learned. So maybe this courageous person was afraid to never give up. And I mentioned a couple times in the story how my son was studying Jordan Romero, who's the youngest boy at age 15 to have summited all 7 summits on the continents. And I just think that's so courageous to me that at such a young age, he had such a huge, big dream in his heart. So not only then climbing the mountains, right? But then it's also the small things. So once you know that, like for me, I can take that story and be like, it's never too late, or there's no dream too small that you won't find the people to help you. Or there may be some other every ordinary day courageous victory that people have had that I can then weave into my life. So that's how you can make your story even deeper and meaningful, when you can weave other people's stories who have inspired you along the way. So it takes courage, and I'm so proud of you for getting to this point at the end of week 4 ignition. We are just starting to fly. You know, we've started to go, the keys in the ignition, and we are taking off. And all you need is just a little bit of courage, and the transformation will be incredible. Just like the Cowardly Lion, and now you can watch the after clip of him next. From my heart to yours, be love and courageous.